Hi, this is Raymond Gomez, your B2B sales solutions partner. As usual, sharing this video to help you smash your sales targets, sharing insightful knowledge about sales to give you that edge over competition. Now, I took a journey back into time trying to understand how I sold to my customers and prospects in the past. And when I assessed the successful sales, and trust me, there are quite a lot of them, I found a pattern in there. And this pattern gave me a new perspective about selling. So what I'm going to be doing over the next 2 weeks is to share with you a 5-part series talking about selling. We're going to go back into the basics to understand the elements that go into selling. And how do we title this? Let me come again. We're going to title this Selling is a Result. Selling is a result. So subscribe to this video, subscribe to our link to get the videos that will follow this one fresh and hot, sharing insights with you about selling. And this to give you an additional perspective about sales. Okay, so let me try and define selling. And the usual definition, Wikipedia, of a number of sites, even HubSpot, would define selling as the exchange of money for something between a seller and a buyer. Now, this is more theoretical in nature, and when I did that review into how I sold in the past, the pattern I saw, what I found out was that it had some key elements, and these are the elements I'm going to be sharing with you. So in this video, I'm going to define selling, and in the subsequent videos, we are going to drill down into the various elements that make up selling. Okay, so what is selling? Selling is indeed the exchange of something, an idea, a product, a service, for another thing of value from your buyer. Okay, so let's look at the elements of selling. And I narrowed down to 4 key elements. And if you should take these 4 key elements, drill into them, align it and adapt to your business, you would see a very, very clear path to selling all your way to success. Number 1 element is to identify somebody who meets your criteria that you have set for people who should consume, who should own your products and your services. Number 1 element, identifying a person or an institution who meets a criteria that you have set for those who should own or consume your products or services. Element number 2, let that person or that institution know that they qualify amongst many others to own or use your product or service. Now, let's look at this, very, very important. Letting that person know that they qualify. Already you're putting them in a position that they have qualified amongst many others to own or use your product or service. The third element is educating that person or that institution on the advantages that your product or service would give them over other products, their competition, the benefit that it brings into their personal lives, into their finances, into their health. What your product and services would do for them. Educating them, giving them information so they can now make an informed decision about how they relate to your product or your service. Element number 3, education. Educating that person or that institution about the advantages or how your product or service will give them an advantage in many ways over others. Okay. And then the element number 4, which is that point where there is an exchange, is guiding that person or that institution to exchange something of value for your product or service. Let me go over the elements again. Number 1, identifying somebody who meets a criteria that you have set for those who should consume or own your product or services. The element number 2, letting that person know that they qualify amongst others to own your product or service. Number 3, educating that person on the advantages that your product or service will give them over others, okay, in their personal lives, in their financial lives, in their health, in their investment life, all the advantages that they will get, educating them about it. And number 4, guiding them or that person to exchange something of value for your product or service. Okay, this is the initial video on selling as a result. Subscribe to this video of our YouTube channel, or click on our website link below and book an appointment. Let's schedule to meet. When you subscribe, you're going to get our videos hot and fresh. And trust me, this insight is to give you an additional perspective to sales. And as usual, it's all with the commitment to helping you smash your sales target. Watch out for the next video and see you later.